So recently I gave my students an assignment to write a short story with a twist ending along the lines of O. Henry. And one of my kids turned in a lovely story about a young boy's friendship with a yellow dog who he came to call Old Yeller. And unfortunately, by the end of the story, Old Yeller had contracted rabies and the boy had to shoot his very best friend. It was heart-wrenching and absolutely tragic. The real tragedy, obviously, this kid did not write Old Yeller last I checked. But what's more upsetting than the plagiarism itself is that when I emailed this child's father and I said, by the way, this is the quality of work that your child is doing, or rather not, the father's immediate response was, well, I'd bring this to the attention of the principal if I were you. And I'm like, well, I'm bringing it to your attention because you're the parent. I thought you might be interested. The father then went on to defend his kid's actions, saying that, oh, well, he was using these outside resources to support his own original story. No, he wasn't. There was nothing original about this story. And the fact that the parent was enabling the child by trying to justify his actions is absolutely mind-boggling to me. Stick with me and let's talk about the importance of parents taking an active role in making their children responsible for their own education, now more than ever. Hi, and welcome to Classroom Confidential. My name is Christopher Youngren, and I'm a middle school English teacher in Tucson, Arizona. Here on this channel, I share tips and strategies I've used to keep me sane and my students engaged. I'm delighted to share my ideas and experiences with you, so welcome. So needless to say, the 2020-2021 school year was rough on everybody, from parents to teachers to students. And now that we're back in person, things are still a little rough. And that is why it is more important than ever for parents to be aware of what is going on with their children's education. I understand, both as a teacher and a parent, the challenges that we went through last year. And I know that many parents had to leave their children at home while they went off to work to make money, to put food on the table and support their families, given it was a rotten situation, and we did our best. And we expected our children, many of us, to stay at home and make responsible, big adult type choices, dial into Zoomland every day, and take that initiative and take hold of their own education. Great. Problem is, they're not big responsible adults. They're children. And as a result, there was a lot of off-task behavior. There was a lot of checking out, and there was not much dialing in on many students' parts. And as an even further result, there's been a lot of backslide. And so it is more important than ever before for teachers and parents to work together to support their children now that we're back in an in-person classroom as they move forward, in order to have the best possible educational experience that they can. I understand that there are no easy answers and that we're doing the best we can to unravel this big mystery that we're living through. No time in the history of education have we ever experienced anything like what we're going through right now. And that is why it is absolutely imperative to keep clear lines of communications open between parents and teachers, and for parents to not enable bad choices and off-task behavior in their children. You may think that you're doing them a favor. Yes, they've been through the ringer. We've all been through the ringer, and we've all suffered trauma on one level of another. So, of course, the children are fragile, and we need to not lead with an iron fist and say, you gotta get back with the program. But they do have to get back with the program. The PlayStation vacation is over. They need to step up, and they need to grab hold of the reins of their own education, because the time is now. We're not talking about a summer slide. We're talking about a quarter of a year plus a summer, plus another entire year plus a summer, and now they're finally back. Of course, learning loss has occurred, and that's why you as a parent have to be present, awake, and aware of what is going on with your child's educational life. Teachers have their hands full as it is, just in assisting children in reacclimating to the classroom and getting their behavior back on task. So for parents to feel like, well, we'll just send the kids off to school and that'll take care of that, is absolutely naive. Studies have shown that the more involved you as a parent are in your child's academia, the greater their academic success. Playing an active part and being aware and engaged in your child's education may also manifest in more positive in-class behavior as well as a better attitude overall about school. I'll tell you this, my kids who are the most disrespectful, disruptive, and disengaged are also the ones who, coincidentally, have parents who are just not there. They don't answer emails, they don't answer texts, they don't answer phone calls, and ironically, they are the ones that don't come to the parent-teacher conferences either, when they're probably the ones that could benefit the most. On the flip side of the coin, some of my students who are the best behaved in class and doing the best academically also happen to be the ones whose parents seem to give a damn about their education, who are present, who are involved, who are communicating, who are asking questions. What can I do to help my child through these weird and wonky times? So you do the math. What kind of parent are you? Are you a parent who's checked out? Are you a parent who's taking a role and being there for your student? This is not an easy time for any of us, and your children need you, and your teachers need you in order to best help your students. I mean, it should seem like a no-brainer, but many parents out there still just seem, unfortunately, not to get it. Look, I'm really not trying to beat up on parents. Most of my parents are absolutely terrific. And it is an incredibly trying time for all of us. We are all doing our best. And believe me, I know a little something about overwhelm. But the more we can work together and the more you can take just a few minutes to devote to your child at home. Look, it can be something as simple as just reading to your child for 10 minutes. Studies show that if you can develop a daily habit of reading to your child, maybe just before bed for 10, 20 minutes, I do it every night with my own boys at home, it will greatly improve their reading skills, it will show them the importance of reading, and it will hopefully get them interested in reading because look, you know as well as I do, if they can't read and they can't write, they are dead in the water. So the more you cultivate the love and the importance of these things at home, the better off your students will be. And it doesn't have to take that much time. Just a few minutes out of your day to stop and check in with your child and say, I am here for you. How can I help? Because your education is the most important thing in the world. So what can I do for you? We will make it through this weird and wonky and incredibly difficult time that we are going through. I absolutely believe that 100% with all of my heart. But we have got to work together, especially when it comes to the education of our children. Parents and teachers, we have got to be on the same side. And if you're a parent who's been checked out and you know who you are out there, just like it's time for the students to check back in and take responsibility for their education, it's time for you to check back in and take responsibility for your child. Thanks for joining me today. If you got value out of this video, why not stick around and check out some of the other great content right here on Classroom Confidential. I got a ton of stuff and much, much more on the way. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and take care of someone else. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.